Hello there, and good afternoon. I pray you're having a great day. I pray that all is good, all is well. I just wanted to get on here just to talk a little bit about um, what I've been doing, how I've been feeling. Um, the last time I talked about trusting yourself. You got to trust yourself. You got to believe in yourself. Um, you have to allow yourself to heal and believe that it will happen. It's not a process that happens. Excuse me. It's not a process that happens overnight. To get your healing from an abusive relationship that you was in, it takes time. It takes time for you to start back to loving yourself, becoming yourself. Like I always say, take baby steps. Do things that you know would help you out, would help you get past your feelings. Because you're going to have days where you're going to be down. You're going to have days where you're going to think about what you went through. And if you're still in a relationship, if you're still in this abusive relationship, you still can get out. Like I said, it took me. I stayed with the man that was abusing me for 11 years. The abuse wasn't 11 years. I say the abuse, um, out of the 11 years that I was with him, I say 8 of those years, 8 or 9 of those years was abuse. It wasn't every day, it wasn't all the time. He knew exactly what to do to keep me there. He would abuse me, he would leave, and then he would, come back with being, I apologize. I am so sorry. I didn't even mean to do that. Why I did it, I want you to forgive me for doing it. It was wrong. That. And you when you're in an abusive relationship, you tend to believe that because it can go weeks without any abuse. It may even go a month, without any abuse. So the abuser knows exactly how to keep you. And he knew exactly how to keep me in a relationship because it wasn't, like I said, abuse all the time. So, when I sit and I think about this and I tell him my journey, tell him my um, life, what I went through as being abused, letting other single women know that I know what they're going through, I know how they're feeling, been there. So, I just want to get on here and just um, encourage you to let you know that don't ever give up. Don't ever, fight to get out of the relationship because I had to fight. I had to fight my feelings. Um, I had to fight the fear. I had to fight the anxiety. I had to fight the stress. I had to fight the, excuse me, not knowing exactly what would happen. Where can I go? What can I do? Had to fight that. And since I've been out of this relationship for years, um, and I still think about whenever I watch something on TV about a woman in an abusive relationship, brings back memories of what I went through, and bring back thoughts of how people would, I would hear people say, that wouldn't be me. I would get out. I don't see how they stay. It's easy to say, very easy to say. It's not easy. It's not easy just to walk out of abusive relationship unless you've been in it for you catch a hold of yourself within 2 weeks of a relationship or 3 weeks, and you just like, oh, I don't want to live like this. And you go and you walk away from it. Some single women can't. They try. Like I tried. Like I said, I left him many a times, but I always came back because he would always, give me the sad story. He would come. I just couldn't. My life was like it was like I was in a cage, you know, uh, uh, like in a building where there was no escape. I look out and there he is. If I go to work, I'm wondering, when I get off, will he be there? If I go to the grocery store, I'm looking, nothing was comfortable with me whenever I would leave him. But I'm quite sure he wasn't thinking that. He was, probably saying, oh, she's going to eventually come back. And I did. I eventually went back. So, um, I beat myself up when I think about it. I have times where, you know, I talk to myself and I am so determined to help another single woman get out of a relationship that she's in. I don't want to stop this here podcast. I don't want to stop this, me reaching out. I don't want to give it up because I know that some single woman is going to be helped. Some single woman is going to be delivered, set free, going to be able to get out of that abusive relationship. And when I think about it, we have 1 month that they celebrate abuse. 1 month. And abuse is not a 1 month situation, it's every day, every month. I never understood, why they came up with a certain month would be the month um what I talk about it, but put up different things, a survivor, have all this going for 1 month, a whole month, and then what about the rest of the month? What about the months that the abuse is still continuing, but it's never talked about? 1 month out of a year, they talk about abuse, and that just amazes me. And then next year, the month will come back around and they have something for, abuse. It should be talked about more than 1 month a year. We have 12 months in a year, and the abuse gets 1 month. This is something that happens every single day. Single women are being abused, married women are being abused, but I can only talk on single because I'm single. I wasn't married to the man. I stayed with him. And my grandfather would always say, don't never move in with a man, let a man move in with you so you can tell him, get out, you know, leave. But I moved in with him, Um, I just thought that, I just felt lonely, wanted that attention. But then once he knew that he had me, he wasn't too worried about, me if I did leave. I was going to come back. He knew it. He knew my pattern of leaving and returning. And he knew um, what to do to keep me in there, gave me a pacifier, and if I could put it that way. He would apologize, and I am so sorry. Please forgive me. That was wrong of me. I don't know what got over me. If you could just trust me, give me another chance. I'll prove to you I will not do this ever again. And he did for a couple of months. There was no abuse. There was no name calling. There was none of that. There was no um, laying in the bed wondering, what's going to happen, or him coming home and coming from work, or there's none of that for a while. But when it picked back up, I always was looking for what triggered it. Nothing really have to trigger it. If he decides that if he wants to abuse you, I mean, it may be the way you look. You may have said a word wrong. You may have looked wrong. You may have ignored him. You may not have heard him, and he called you, and he got, I got upset about that. I never knew what the trigger points was, and I understand. I don't belittle no single woman who's in a relationship is being abused. I don't talk about you say, oh, you need to get up out of that. That's just plain. No, no, no. It's not an easy door to open, walk out, and stay gone. It's a period of adjusting, finding, you know, yourself. Because myself was lost through all the abuse, the name calling. I was lost. I didn't know who I was. I was what he wanted me to be when he wanted me to be. I was like a robot. He wound me up, and I went. I did. I acted the way he wanted me to act, not the way I wanted to act, but I couldn't say anything about it. I couldn't say, I don't like, this is not me. This is not who I am. I couldn't say that. I was too afraid. And fear is the biggest thing in an abusive relationship while you stay because you're so fearful of what he's going to do, what's going to happen to you. So fear, and, I had no self esteem. You know, I was like walking around in just a web of darkness. Didn't realize anything. So I just wanted to get on here and just tell you that who have gotten out of it. I understand you still have days where things come up. You see something, you remember something, you hear something, you have days where you just don't want to do anything, don't want to talk to nobody, don't want no one around you. I know what that feels like. I know that feeling. I know that hurt. I just want so much just to let you know that it's possible to get out of it, to start a new life. It's possible. But you got to take charge. And that to me was the hardest thing for me to do is to take charge, to go forth, to just keep going and not look back. I kept looking back. I kept looking back. I felt that I loved him, and he didn't really, he didn't really mean to hurt me. I would go back and it was so good. It was great. We didn't argue. We didn't fuss. We didn't do anything. And, that's how the abuser kept me. He knew if it was a daily thing, I would definitely leave. Back then and there, like I said, when I was in this relationship, it was my word against his. And then, usually, if you do file charges, he'll convince you to drop the charges and he'll beg and plead. I'll never do it again. Just don't do this. I apologize. What do I need to do to prove to you that I am so sorry? Whatever it takes, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to change whatever. So you drop the charges. And that's another thing that he is upset about. And he don't tell you then that he's upset that you had the gall, the audacity, you had the nerve to file charges on him. So that's on his list of, I'm going to get you. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week. I'll give you a little time. But he'll let you know. Like I said, when I had the abortion, it was okay when I did it. And then he got upset saying I had an abortion because it wasn't his baby. And he knew, I knew that he would find out. So therefore, I got rid of the baby. Now, mind you, he encouraged me to have it. But anything to cause disruption, him to get angry, he brought it up. So he fought me. And the thing about it is, he would never, leave bruises that you could see the abuse. The sexual abuse, you couldn't see it unless, So he was okay with that. No one who gonna believe you? There ain't nobody gonna believe you. It's something that you wanted. Because if you didn't want it, you would have fought me. Yeah. No. No, I wouldn't have. Because if I would have fought, you would have made it even worse. So understand that the abuse is not your fault. The name calling is not your fault. It's what he wants to do to destroy your character, to destroy you. So don't ever think that you're the reason you're causing this abuse. No, you're not. It's just something that he decided that he's going, I don't know what his, how his background was. I don't know, if he was bullied. I don't know. I didn't ask because that would have been a fight. I didn't speak about it. That would have been an argument. That would have been um, an abuse. So you're accusing me of being abused in my lifetime. So that's why I'm abusing you. I mean, so I was walking on eggshells. I had to make sure I, prepared his food right. I had to eat before he ate because to make sure, I had to taste his food to make sure, he had that fear that I was going to poison him. That was never on my mind. It was never in my heart. But I did want to hurt him. But I didn't want to hurt him to the fact that, I would be put in prison for it. But I wanted to hurt him because he was hurting me. So that's understandable. We're hurt. When you get hurt, you want to hurt somebody to hurt you. And I wanted to hurt him. But I didn't, I was too afraid. So you got to trust the process once you get out or you're thinking about leaving. Trust the process. Take those baby steps. Keep going forward. I know you may be in a tunnel right now and it's dark, but just don't turn around. Come on out. Keep walking forward. Take them baby steps to get out of that tunnel of depression, suicidal thoughts, defeat, less self-esteem, misery. You can do it. You can get out of this relationship and be a better person. Because why I say a better person is because you're in this abusive relationship, you don't see yourself as a nothing or nobody. You're not a person. You're just a object. But you can get out and say, I'm a better person. I don't have to live this way, and you don't. Believe you me, you don't have to. You can get out. And like I said, if you ever need to talk, you can reach me at MsDiva@gmail.com. You can email me. We could talk. We could text back and forth. If you want to have an interview, like I said, you can reach me at MsDiva@gmail.com. And I'll get back with you. I'll set up the interview. It could be just between me and you. If you want me to share it, I'll share it. If you don't, I won't. If you just want to talk, you want to vent, you want to yell, you want to scream, I understand. I know what it's like. So like I always say, God loves you and so do I. And remember, you are somebody. You are going to be the greatest. You're going to help somebody else, some other single woman through the struggles that she may be experiencing. You get out of your situation and you'll be able to help another single woman out of her situation. And then she'll be able to help somebody else like a dynamo effect. One help, that person helps, another person helps. Don't ever give up. You are somebody. You're awesome. You are beautiful. You're outstanding. You are going to be a help to some other single woman. Have a blessed day. Remember, believe in the process. Don't give up.